on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. Today we're taking a look at the AEW Jazwares Unrivaled Supreme Collection Walmart exclusive CM Punk. Yes, unfortunately, this is only available at Walmart. I know there were a lot of issues with the pre-orders initially, right? People were ordering them online. Orders were getting canceled. There were people who were getting Cody Rhodes shipped. There were people who were getting Kenny Omega Supreme shipped to them. Jazwares has corrected that, and they are shipping them slowly to some people, right? I feel like Walmart and Jazwares have been working together to get that issue resolved for people who are getting the wrong figures. Some people did get CM Punk shipped to them, and now he's kind of hitting stores pretty heavily for the most part. I believe it's 5 figures per case, so that's what I did see at my local Walmart. I got a tip. I was trying to get there early one day. I said, you know, maybe I'm not going to go today. And one of my buddies had posted it on WFig's Wrestling Forums page saying that there were 5 CM Punks on shelves at my local Walmart. I got in my car immediately. Luckily, I was off that day. Drove right down there, and sure enough, I got the pick of the litter. Picked the best paint apps because obviously Jazwares is known for their QC issues for the most part. So I hope I picked a good one. I actually did grab 2. One thing that is scaring me right off the bat, right? He's wearing the hoodie. I hope to God this figure is not stained. I haven't really watched any other people's reviews or really heard too much about that. So I hope he does not have any issues with staining, because obviously we've gotten so many Punks or other, you know, just AEW figures from Jazwares, and they leave the soft goods on, and they have come severely stained. Looking at it in the packaging, it looks like there is a wrap on his chest, if you could see it like coming through on his trunks. So hopefully that does not become an issue with this figure, because it does look great. I wanted this figure so bad. When Punk officially got fired, I was like, well, are we going to get this figure? Are we not? We never really heard anything from Jazwares, and sure enough, it made its way to shelves, thank God. This could possibly be the last AEW Supreme Punk, or excuse me, AEW CM Punk figure. I know Ringside does have that Ring of Honor flashback figure still up for order, so maybe there's a few more. Maybe that'll be the last one. But as far as your modern day looking Punk, this could be it. So don't sleep on it. This was a little pricey. It was $43 at my local Walmart. But the packaging on the Supreme line is one of my favorites. It's a little bit on the big side. So if you guys, you know, are a little tight on space, I don't know if mock is the best way to go, but it just looks so clean. You get all this clear, beautiful window box plastic. You can see the image of Punk here. He does come with a lot of accessories. Love the AEW Unrivaled Supreme Collection logo here on the front. You got the CM Punk nameplate here on the bottom. Exclusively at Walmart, they had to put that on there. We're going to turn the box over, and you can see the accessories are packed nicely on the side. So you get 1 head on the figure. You get 3 additional interchangeable heads. The AEW Championship belt. You get a bunch of interchangeable hands. Finally, he can do his go-to-sleep pose, or you can do him with a fisted pose across his chest. Cannot wait to try that out. On the other side, you also get a t-shirt and another set of legs that do have the camo design and no deco on the kick pads versus the stars on these kick pads here. So it looks pretty good. They have the kind of like diorama look for the entranceway of the AEW entrance stage. On the back, you get the image of CM Punk. What was not a successful run, unfortunately, with AEW. But let's get this figure out of the packaging, and more importantly than seeing what it's all about, let's see if there's any staining. So before we get to the actual figure, let's look at all the accessories that CM Punk does come with. Disclaimer, I want to tell you now, I did not take the hoodie off this figure. I want to see if it is stained. I want to get my reaction on camera and make it as authentic as possible for you guys. But this is the hoodie that comes on Punk. I didn't want to take it off, like I said, so we'll get to that and get a more in-depth look at that once we get to the actual figure. But you get a shit ton of interchangeable hands, so let's go through them. You do get a set of kind of mic open holding hands. If you guys can't see that, it does have the drug-free on there. Looks pretty nice. He does have the black X's. You will see that the actual peg is the same color. I will say when you move the actual pegs, you can see a little bit of that skin tone kind of seeping through, but doesn't look that bad. So you get the mic open holding hands. The big one for me was the go to sleep hands. You can see the drug-free tattoos are on the fingers as well. You can have him hitting that pose. That's really good. I saw Squared Circle Photography do a sick photo of him blowing a kiss today. Epic photo, my brother. Absolutely love it. But that's another fun one you can do. Another big one, the fisted hands with him across his chest hitting that pose is going to be another one to do. I will say that the drug-free tattoo on this one looks a little off. You guys can see it is kind of printed a little to the left, but you can see the X's on these as well. Additionally, you get these kind of like rock-on hands, kind of different pose for CM Punk. So that is a bunch of interchangeable hands. Some of the Bourne accessories is nice that they threw in there. Of course, what's a CM Punk without a pipe bomb microphone? You get the AEW microphone that I feel like every figure comes with. You get the AEW World Heavyweight Championship belt. Looks pretty clean. I've always really liked this belt since the start with the AEW line. You get a nice soft goods t-shirt with the best in the world logo on the front. It is a sleeveless cut. They got the Velcro on the back. Probably will not be using this because we all know how the soft goods on Jazwares figures go. Additionally, you get another set of interchangeable legs. You will see the camo design on these. Let's zoom in, give you a nice close-up look. Looks pretty clean. He's got the stars on the front and on the back. I really looked through a lot of these just to make sure that the printing on these trunks were pretty good when I was buying them at Walmart. I am such a sucker for paint applications. He does kind of have these like weird, like, I don't know, the holes in the plastic, they were on, again, I did grab 2 of them. They were on both of my figures. They are actually on the legs that come with the figure as well. But you also do get a bunch of interchangeable heads. So here are all the heads that you do get with this Supreme CM Punk. Kind of like the snarl looking head. This one looks okay. You can see it looks like maybe it was after his UFC fight where his ear was kind of swollen up. No hate on CM Punk there. But it looks okay. You also do get kind of the straight face head sculpt that we have seen before. It's got an okay likeness to Punk. Really do like the slick back hair look. And then you get some of the kind of different hair where he's got it in his face. Got the screaming scan, which looks pretty good. This is one of my favorites. If you guys did have the bloody CM Punk, I believe this is the head that he did come with it. Now you're getting minus the blood application. Then you get the kind of smiling CM Punk head sculpt. All look pretty good. And I will say they all do have that behind the ear tattoo. We'll show them off real quick. So all in all, you get a lot of accessories, a lot of bang for your buck with this Supreme figure. Taking a look at the CM Punk Supreme figure from Jazwares out of the packaging, it looks pretty damn good. You can see, like we were saying, he does come with this nice soft goods hoodie. If you guys want to see, you get the CM Punk Best in the World logo here on the front. On the back, you get these same logos. So these always look pretty clean. I feel like these Jazwares hoodies have a nice kind of like tight fit to these figures, which look great. But unfortunately, they're always freaking staining their damn figures, and you can't even use them. I feel like I get these figures, and I throw the soft goods right off to the side if they are black. If they are maybe a different color, like navy blue, or the white that came with the Best in the World shirt from the Ringside Collectibles First Dance CM Punk, I can see saving those, but anything black, I have been throwing off to the side and not displaying with my figures. I know some people say you can throw it in the wash to kind of get the dye out, but I just have to know. Enough chatting. Let's just get to it, and I'm going to get my best to capture this real-time reaction. Always pop the hands off. It looks like there's a bunch of tape on his arms, I would assume, so maybe that's a good sign. Maybe we won't get any staining. Oh, man, it just makes me so nervous. You know, you just never know what you're getting with Jazwares. Sometimes they hit such a home run with their products, like, wow, I really love this line. Other times, like, wow. Okay, so it goes along the arms fully. I am not seeing anything right off the bat. So let's just pop this off. So if you guys are not familiar with the Supreme line, all the pieces are pretty much interchangeable for the most part. You can pop a lot of these parts right off to remove the plastic. So here's your CM Punk stomach. No staining on that. That looks pretty clean. That makes me happy. We'll snap that right back. And the arms are also interchangeable. You can slide his arms right through this plastic. I see no stain. Oh, maybe some slight staining. Let's see. Is that going to pick up on camera? A little bit of the blue on the wrist tape here, or black. It looks a little blue, but you will see there is a slight stain. How does that happen? There's plastic on it. How does it seep through the plastic and get on these figures? Like, come on, man. All right, I could live with that. Is it any worse on this arm? Let's see. Let's slide the arm. It's covered in plastic. Like, how? It baffles me, dudes. So, I think there's some slight staining on his shoulder. That's fucking disappointing, man. Just slightly, you can see it. Sorry, it wasn't in camera, man. Like I said, I'm trying to get my best honest reaction. It doesn't look that bad. I will say the Cobra tattoo looks a little off. So I did get 2 of them. I'm curious to see how the other figure is, but for the most part, I feel like it could be worse, right? But the problem is, it's just, this is such a premium figure. Let's get them all assembled back. Like, we shouldn't even have to worry about this, right? You figure you spend $50, like, he should be perfect. But he does have some slight staining. It's more so noticeable on the actual arm tape or wrist tape, whatever you want to call it. Even on this arm, it's just kind of hard to see. It could be worse, but like I said, I don't want to downplay and say that's not a big deal, because it is. This is an expensive figure, but let's get some hands on him. And you know what? While we're at it, let me go get my other interchangeable hands. Let's do these damn fisted hands. First, let's have some fun with this figure. Like I said, I didn't really mess around with it. I just kind of like wanted to capture this on camera and get a really candid reaction for you guys. But let's just do it. Let's have some fun before we look at the figure. That is freaking awesome. CM Punk with his arms crossed against his chest. Drug-free, straight edge society. This is so sick, man. But let's look at the figure. We'll have some fun with this as we go on with the video review. Let's look at all his tattoos. So with the Supreme line, you do have the butterfly joint articulation that is added. I will say that they're not super loose. They do have a good range of motion. This one's a little tighter than this side here. You guys can see that, but the tattoos look really good. You will see he does have the straight edge here on his stomach. The beautiful star design here for the trunks. If you guys want to get a quick comparison of the other legs, so you can definitely have some different variations. This is why I grabbed two of them. I wanted to have one in each set of trunks. I was not a fan of Punk in the long boys. I'll be honest with you guys. When that first unmatched figure came, I was like, really? You're giving us one of the long boys? Though the ones of him wearing the white attire was pretty clean. I would have loved to have seen that. He does have the black knee pads here. You can see the actual star design on there. He does have some added toe articulation that is not on the regular Unrivaled Unmatched figures. It just looks really clean. I do like how the designs on the stars on his boots look. The gold really does kind of pop kind of nice. It's a little flatter of a color, but it looks clean. Paint apps on this looks pretty good for the most part. Make sure to line up the stars, because I saw a lot of figures on the shelf at Walmart where it's like, man, is the star mispainted or is his leg not turned? For the most part, it's probably just going to be where the lower leg isn't turned. But for the most part, it does line up really nicely. You'll see the star design on the back as well. But tattoo details look pretty clean. You can see all the nice tattoo artwork on this figure, even on the actual butterfly joints on his back. This looks pretty good. Again, some slight staining over the Cobra. Not too bad. For the most part, you can see the nice, again, tattoo detailing on his chest. Head sculpt, let's get a quick look at that, because, again, we have a bunch of head sculpts to go through with this figure. Here is the smiling scan. It looks pretty clean. I don't know which is my favorite. Throughout the video, I'm kind of going to test them out and see what looks best on the figure, but just a lot of fun different poses and variations that you can go with. You get a lot with this figure, I will say that. And like I said, I did grab two of these figures, so if you wanted to see what each of the trunks design look like on the Supreme figures, you can see them here side by side. Let's get his hands down, having a little too much fun with that. You will see the black and gold ones versus the camel look. He does have the plain kick pads versus the stars on the black and gold. I will say this one, I did want to point out, the staining on this figure was actually a lot worse than the one I opened with you guys. You can see that kind of like a bar kind of going over the Cobra tattoo. That is fucking annoying, man. Sorry to curse, but it just pisses me off. You can see as far as the wrist tape as well. Let's see if I get even close up. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera. This is faint. It doesn't bother me, but like I said, it shouldn't be the case. But that bothers me, man. You can see that black line going right over there, and it's just like, it's wrapped in plastic. How does that even freaking happen? But again, trunks, you make your pick. Let me know down in the comments which one you like best. Are you grabbing two? Let's quickly run through all the different heads on the Supreme body. So we have the smiling scan that came on the figure. We have the more straight face scan with the hair slicked back. We have the snarling head scan, and I can say without a doubt, this is probably my least favorite head that came with this set. And lastly, we have the screaming head sculpt, and I think this is probably my favorite from the four that we did get with Jazwares. I probably will display one with the kind of hair in his face, so you do get the smiling one that is similar to this hair sculpt. And then you have more of the kind of slick back Punk head. I think this may be the other one that I display with my other Punk. I definitely don't recommend using any of the soft goods that did come with these figures, but you can see how they look like on each Supreme CM Punk. Look how fun this figure is, man. You can hit him in so many different poses. Him kind of doing his clobbering time pose. You have him doing the go to sleep. You can hit him with the arms across the chest. Just Such a fun figure, but soft goods wise, like I said, I would not recommend using them. But if you want to see what the shirt looked like on the Supreme CM Punk, you got the t-shirt with the best in the world decal. And we've seen this hoodie before, just with different designs. He had that Larry hoodie at one point. Looks good on the figure. I've always liked the hoodie. I mean, I may be throwing these in, I may try throwing them in the wash to see if that kind of like solves the problem of kind of getting the dye out, but then you're also risking of just leaving them on the figure and still staining it. So I don't know if it's worth the risk, to be honest. I hope you guys are ready for a ton of comparisons. So starting us off, we're taking a look at some of the other AEW Jazwares Supreme figures versus this new CM Punk. So on the left, we have the Walmart exclusive Kenny Omega. Next to that here on the right, we have the Supreme Malachi Black, one of my favorites in my AEW Jazwares collection. And the original Supreme 1, Cody Rhodes. We definitely have to showcase some of my favorite Mattel Elite CM Punk figures. We've gotten some great figures quite a while ago. Survivor Series is around the corner. A lot of rumors floating around. Maybe a possible return. This is early November as of this recording, so we'll see at the end of the month if Punk does come back. Maybe we get some updated Ultimate Edition figures. So the figures I have for you here, this I believe is a Toys R Us Network spotlight, or it's actually from a Build-A-Figure set. I did swap out the shirt from the Elite 16 figure here, and the head, I believe that's from Elite 20 to kind of plus it up. So still one of my favorite figures in my collection. Looks very clean. I also do have a custom Pipe Bomb CM Punk. This is from the All-Stars figure with the yellow kick pads. I threw on a custom shirt. I believe it's from Threadhead. The Elite 16 head looks phenomenal. The infamous, again, Elite 16, still my favorite CM Punk from Money in the Bank. He does have the white with the blue and red stars. And on the very right, we have the Elite 29. But could you imagine if CM Punk comes back? That's like unthinkable to WWE. Never say never, right? It's just been so long. Imagine getting these two figures as like an Ultimate Edition. Like, just mind-blowing stuff right there. Also, if you guys are big WWE Mattel fans like myself, and imagine him making that surprise return at Survivor Series, we do have some Mattel Ultimate Edition figures, possible feuds maybe for CM Punk if he came back, maybe versus the Drip God himself, Seth Rollins. That would be pretty awesome with the kind of words they've had back and forth. And on the right, we have the Ultimate Edition Cody Rhodes. Even though CM Punk did have a short tenure with AEW, Jazwares did pump out quite a few figures. So on the far left here, we have the First Dance Ringside Collectibles exclusive CM Punk with the ice cream bar and the Best in the World t-shirt. In front of him, we have the Blood and Guts CM Punk. You will see the head sculpt is the same on the Supreme figure. It has been obviously redone without the blood application. This is still one of my favorite figures that Jazwares has produced. The torso on mine is really freaking loose. That is the only thing that is annoying, as well as the forearm tattoo kind of coming through. I will like to point out the actual look of the chest versus the Unmatched and Unrivaled figures. You will see how the actual chest piece looks versus the Supreme with the butterfly joint to kind of give you some different looks of how the tattoo was applied. It looks a little more scrunched in there versus the Unmatched figure here on the right. I will say I kind of like the look of this. It's just spread out a little more evenly. But again, these figures did have staining issues. I was able to actually swap this out. I believe I took the arms from the original Unmatched figure and threw it on the exclusive from Ringside Collectibles to have no staining on there, and I just swapped out the arms that didn't have any of the staining part. And on the very right here, we have the Walmart exclusive. I actually did swap out the kick pads here to have the designs from the one with the long boys, but there are your comparisons. And also, I did want to point out, the Supremes do have pinless joints. Tell me how much nicer that looks minus these big pinholes, man. Just looks so ugly. And if you guys do remember, so many issues with his tattoos. Remember, they were printed above on the wrist tape here. So that it has been corrected on the Supreme. But for fun, I do want to swap on the Supreme torso on all these different figures to give you some quick looks. Let's run through these really quick. So here we have the Supreme and the Blood and Guts figure torso swapped. We have the Supreme and the Unmatched figure with the Long Boy swapped. I wanted to point out, you guys can see the torso does not sit super flush. There is kind of a little bit of a gap on the side. You can see here, obviously the torso is different with the Supreme because it does have the butterfly joints added, but the actual Unmatched figure does fit really nice with the Supreme lower body. Here is the Supreme torso on the Ringside Collectibles exclusive CM Punk, and the same thing, it does not sit flush on that crotch piece. And lastly, we have the Supreme torso on the Walmart exclusive. I was really looking forward to this. You will see the gappage is there a little bit on the side, And on the back, it doesn't look the best. I was hoping to maybe even go back and grab maybe a third CM Punk to kind of turn this into a Supreme. And that's just disappointing that the torso doesn't fit, because I really do love the interchangeability with the Jazwares Supreme line. If you guys have stuck around this long, I do want to say thank you. I appreciate it. I know this was a long one, but I really want to give you an in-depth look at this Supreme CM Punk figure. I want to cover all avenues as much as I can. I'm sure there's a ton I missed, but like I said, I really like to go full-on in-depth. If you guys are enjoying this review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me grow this channel and bring you some more great content on these figures. Don't forget to turn on those notification bells to stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. This CM Punk figure from Jazwares is no joke. I really do love it. It's just fun, and I feel like Jazwares has really stepped up their game with the last figures that I personally have purchased. From the Walmart exclusive Chris Jericho to the newest Ringside Collectibles exclusive Hook figure. I'm not even a Hook fan, and I absolutely love that figure. I feel like they have really stepped up their game to an extent. I'm still going to take off points for the staining. I feel like we're too late into the game to make that an excuse. You can see they're trying. They wrapped the shit out of this figure in plastic, and it didn't help. I mean, for the mock collectors, who the hell wants to see like a piece of plastic sticking out underneath the shirt? Either start packing them on the side if you're not going to like pony up and get better fabric, or just, get rid of the cloth accessories, or, just improve and get some better material. I don't know what it is. This problem should not be happening. And that is the minor kind of like complaint. I guess it's not minor. That is the big complaint, because obviously anything aside from the staining on my figure, I don't have any complaints. This figure is just, it's everything you'd want from a CM Punk figure. If Jazwares still had the rights to make CM Punks, in my opinion, other than attire choices, this is all you would ever need to buy. Like, you get 2 sets of legs, so you can go with whatever trunks you want. If you like the black kickers or the stars on the design, you get them. You get the championship belt. You get a ton of interchangeable hands. Look at the posability. You can hit the double X pose with his hands going across his chest. You could hit the go to sleep. You could have him calling for it's clobbering time. You can have him looking at his watch. You can have him blowing a kiss. Like, there's just so much you can do with it. You get your pipe bomb microphone. The cloth accessories are the only complaints because you can't use them. They're going to stain your figure. But if you do have the Ringside Collectibles exclusive First Dance CM Punk, that shirt looks money on this figure. That is how I'm going to keep them displayed. I think these two are my favorite heads from the set that I will probably use for my display. I just wanted one with him with the slick back hair. And the Screaming Skin, without a doubt, is the money maker from the set. No complaints. I say go ahead and buy it. You have no idea where CM Punk is going to be, whether he's back with WWE, whether he's not. This could possibly be the last kind of look or modern day look of CM Punk to purchase. Again, it is a Walmart exclusive. I say don't sleep on this set. I highly recommend. It's fun. You're going to really enjoy posing this figure and throwing it on different parts. The pieces, unfortunately, are not, super flush on the unmatched and unrivaled figures that we have received in the past, but that's, it's a minor complaint. You still have 2 really good options with the trunks here. So I say don't sleep on it. Go grab it. It is a Walmart exclusive. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. But before you go, please make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at AlexWestCollects. I will catch you all on the next video review.